Canada kick off their World Cup campaign over in Group F up against one of the hot shots, Belgium, of course. Will Canada, returning to the World Cup for the first time in a long time, go the bloody distance? We'll take a look at it with a Canadian, and he's coming at you next. That's right, folks, Babbles Game with another World Cup Rivals video today. We're listening to all things Canadian. As of course, I got a Canadian to talk all things World Cup and, of course, their hopes and dreams entering Qatar 2022. We'll get to him in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe. Bang up today. All things donuts related, Canada football related, World Cup related. We got it all here, boys. Under one roofski, of course. But can the dreams of a nation of Canada get out of these group stages? Because standing in the way are Belgium, and we'll chat about that in a second. Big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. But anyway, for my small corner of the YouTube universe, tell them your name, where you calling from, and something cool about Canada.
Vince Forlan. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, on the West Coast, the best city in the country. We're cool because we're the leading immigration country in the world. We're inviting 1.5 million people into the country right now over the next 3 years as immigrants and Canadians. So we're the open country of the whole world. And I'm in Tunisia. I do a lot of work internationally, and I live in Tunisia now, but I'm a Canadian supporter and go back and forth. So happy to be part of this.
I appreciate you being a part of it too, Vince. Of course, so Canada kick off their World Cup campaign against Belgium, of course, and it is your first game at the World Cup for a long time. What are your hopes and dreams and expectations for Belgium first, and maybe the tournament as a whole?
The key thing is to understand that Canada won the CONCACAF division or group, whatever it is, for all North America and Mexico, and Central America. So, and we're very dominant. So it's surprisingly strong team, young, dynamic, led by some amazing people like Alphonso Davies, who I saw as a 15-year-old play in my home city, Vancouver. We sold him for, I think, 20 million US to Bayern Munich. Amazing human being and person and team leader. So, along with some other guys playing at very high level, it's a young, strong team, fast, well coached, and skilled. So we have a good chance. I think we're a dark horse. We have a good chance to progress. I think people are going to be surprised, and it's exciting to be back. I remember when Canada got into their first World Cup. It was '84, and I remember the moment when we scored the goal to get into the World Cup, and it was a big deal. So it's a long time, 84 till now, to be back. Can they beat Belgium? No. Can they hold Croatia? Maybe. Can they beat Morocco in the group? Yeah. Can they make it into the second round? I hope so.
Well, you kind of led into my next question. Just how far can this bunch of Canadians go in this World Cup? Of course, I know if you look back at 2018 in Russia, it was a very lopsided draw for some nations, and they had what were considered a very easy passage to later in the competition. Canada could be one of those, like you said, dark horses that could go far. But realistically, with your Canadian hat on, just how far can they go?
It's a tough group. We got a bad draw. Other countries Netherlands got a ridiculously easy draw. So it's not a good start, but you have to be in it to win it. You've got to go through strong teams. So I don't think they're intimidated. I think they're quite mature. They've got, as I told you, a dynamic coach, Hyman, who was the coach of the Women's World Cup team that won, and they brought him over, and he's done miracles with the Canadian team. So I think we're going to win it all, to be honest.
Wow, that is a statement right there. Okay, so you did touch on Alphonso Davies, and he is a big player, not just for Canada but for Bayern as well. And that is some sort of statement right there for him, because Bayern are one of the best in Europe. So if he's competing and starting and playing regular, then he's got to be something special. But let's just, I am doing this with the fans here. I'm putting their main man out the side. Just put him to one side 1 second. But if there's somebody else in that Canadian team that's going to get us off our seats, the wow factor, who is it?
Well, there's a guy named David. I've forgotten his first name, and he's playing in, I believe, France, and he's a starter in League One and a top 10 goal scorer. So he's been impressive. We have a strong goalie, but they're a balanced team. They have a strong midfield. They're a balanced, young, active team. If you watch their energy level and their skill level, it's pretty balanced. So they're not going to blow anyone off the field with their skills and their technique, but they're decent and they're competent and they're creative. But it's the energy and the form that they have on the field that has rolled over teams like even Mexico and the USA. We beat them each a couple of times. So it's a pretty, good, well-rounded team. That's how I describe them.
Okay, and you do, though, kick off your tournament against one of the probably top four nations in Qatar 2022, the Belgians. Are you happy kicking it off against them, or would you rather save that game to the end?
Oh, I think it's good. I think if a young, energetic, motivated team like ours has to take on a team like Belgium, want to get it, go first, be the dark horse, be misunderstood, maybe surprise them, hold them to a draw. Miracles can happen. I don't think they're going to win the tournament, but I think they have a shot at holding, getting out of the group, and I think they have a shot at tying Belgium. Were they to beat them, I would be shocked. And by the way, KDB is my all-time favorite player, so I really admire him and the team, and hate Fellaini. Is Fellaini playing for Belgium this year? But anyway, here we are. It is what it is.
It definitely is what it is. But let's just say Hyman has got food poisoning, cannot manage this team, and he needs someone to pick the 11. You're the man. What's the 11 for Canada against Belgium?
Oh, I'm available, but I don't remember the list well enough to go through that. I'm sorry.
It's like,
I will by the time the tournament comes, but
wow,
it's a bunch. There's a lot of guys who are from immigrant families, so there's a lot of African Canadians on the team. Davies, for example, came from Ghana. A very touching story about being a refugee at 4 and then getting into soccer as a way to integrate and turning out to be this amazing Canadian. And I think he ranked in the top 5 rookies in his first year in the Bundesliga. So he's not just good; he's exceptionally good.
Yeah, he is exceptionally good. He can play all over the place as well. So there is going to be another game in Group F around about the same day. Morocco taking on Croatia. With a Canadian hat on, what do you think will happen in that game? But what do you want to happen in that game?
I think Croatia will smoke them. I think Morocco is not as good as they think they are. I think that would be a good thing. It will show the Canadians they can beat a team, and it will show them what they need to do against Croatia. So I'm an optimist and a positive thinker, so that's my way of seeing it.
Yeah, I like it. I wish I could be a bit more of a positive pants-wearing fella. But okay, back to your game. Kicking it all off against Belgium. If you have to push it for a scoreline, what's it going to be?
I think it's going to be 2-1 Belgium.
2-1 Belgium. Okay, well, that'll show a bit of fight, a bit of desire, and maybe something to build on for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, they're gonna hang in. They're going to be decent. Belgium's going to comment on that was a tough game, and the Canadians are going to feel at home and ready for the second and third games, which will make the difference.
A bit of a starter before the main course of the other two.
You got to be in it to win it. You got to go through it. You can't go around it. It's just unavoidable. So here we go.
Appreciate your time and your energy answering all those lovely little questions, and of course bigging up Canada's hopes and dreams entering Qatar. Of course, you want to be on the show like Vince, of course, here. You could be on the phone-in show daily from the 20th of November all the way through to the final. You can come and check it all out and be a part of the history here as we try to break records with a load of videos for Qatar 2022. Check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Facebook, I'm even on Patreon if you want to support channel in another way. That's the best place to do it. But until then, guys and girls, we're rocking and rolling to the next one. But until then, we're done.